Good morning, I'll be frank. Can you hear me? There we go. Hi, Carrie. Can you hear me? Hi, Carrie. Uh-oh. Can you hear me? Better turn that down. Just waiting to see if you can hear me, honey. I'll bet you guys were visiting over at Angel Talks Too Fast. But I wanted to go ahead and go live now. Okay. Thank you, sweetheart. I wanted to go ahead and go live now, even though I know there are several running live right now, that many of us like to be there. But I've just gotten off the phone with Detective Fowler of the Cabot, Arkansas Police Department. And so I just wanted to talk for a little bit about Abigail and maybe touch just a little bit on the reactive attachment disorder. Want to give the disclaimer right up front that I am in no way qualified as a counselor, a psychiatrist, a psychologist, a therapist at all. What I'm going to share is merely the research that I have done on the internet to try to help myself and my audience learn a little bit about this. The reason, hi, Izzy Rose, hi, Checking Convictions. Thank you all for coming. I know there are a lot of lives going on right now. You can come in, honey.
I'm going up to FL's and I'll be back with some cigarettes.
Excuse me just a second, guys. The hubby's on vacation so that he can go to work. I'll explain in a moment. What now?
I'm going up to FL's and I'll be right back with some cigarettes.
Okay. Well, give me a kiss. Hi, Cat's Hodgepodgery. Guess we can take a moment and say good morning, can't we, before we jump into anything? Because I'm feeling like I want to jump on it because, like I said, I did just get off the phone maybe 15 minutes ago with Detective Fowler in the Abigail McCOOL case. And Bob, my husband, the kisser. Hi, Fruit Loop Looty. My husband takes vacation from work so he can go work. Oh, he's one of those guys. He doesn't take his week or 2 weeks and go to fishing camp or hunting camp or jump on the Harley and ride. He goes and does a side job. He's just a working kind of guy. Hi, Arctic Fox. Hi, Donna Odom. I'm sure that a number of you were over at Angels. I don't know if Purple is live right now. So I want to thank you for taking the time out this morning to come out, over, not out, but over and hang out with me for just a little bit and talk about Abigail and let you know what little teeny bit Detective Fowler told me. Could tell me. Is she live? I figured, honey. I figured, Arctic. I hope everybody's doing okay this morning. Hi, Tammy. It's another rainy day here in Arkansas. I actually had planned on finishing mowing today. Um, I had let our mods know over the weekend. You're not late, Shorty. I haven't even, about all I've done, Shorty, was kiss the hubby goodbye. Well, you can check out my convictions. I've only had one. I've had a misdemeanor conviction for possession of one joint back in 1981 or 82. I think it was 1981. So anyway, just wanted to highlight a few of your comments. Blessed be to thee alive, to be alive. Yes. Anyway, like I said, I know that we have friends who are live, and many are much more interested today in Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, unfortunately, than they are missing children. That's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but it is what it is. How about that? And just quickly before we get into material, you missed a lot because your grandbabies were there over the weekend. Izzy, Rose, family first always. I got you on that. I'd seen so much as a kind of a light digression. I had seen the hullabaloo coming up on feeds, regarding the Johnny Depp Amber Heard defamation trial. And I know Ziggy is even live right now, probably streaming it and whatnot. So I did something completely different for the weekend. I'm not usually into what I thought was going to be completely frivolous Hollywood kind of showboat kind of trial. I took the entire weekend off, except for a very brief upload on Saturday morning. And I just completely immersed myself in a marathon of the Depp Heard defamation trial, all the way back to opening arguments. And I watched it on Reuters so that there was no commentary or anything. You're just like you're in the courtroom watching the trial. That's the way I prefer it. And I really thought I was going to go just see some what's the word I'm looking for? Silliness. That's not really frivolousness, maybe. And what actually happened once testimony began in the Depp Heard defamation trial for me was a discovery of something somewhat actually, hi, hybrid Pisces, in line with what we do, our work. And a public display, and by that I don't mean display, I mean actually getting to see in a courtroom setting the impact that things that happen to us in our child. I'm dancing around, tiptoeing, but things that happen in our childhood carry over into our adulthood and impact our behavior, a lot of things about us. And I'm actually seeing that in this trial, and I found that very interesting. And I don't know how much any of you babies, hi angels on the moon, are into it. like I said, it was, I went into it as a frivolous, just a weekend of get my mind off of the missing. Frankly, darlings, whether I'm on here or not, that's where my head is. I'm sitting here looking at maps or looking at articles or anything I can find to help us help others. So it was nice to just take the weekend, and it did remain light for me. But if you've watched any of the trial of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard that's going on right now, I think we can see, if we have our thinking caps on and critical thinking, and we take the celebrity out of it, or maybe leave the celebrity in it, now that I think about it a moment, because it helps us see that the emotional and psychological and mental and sometimes physical impact of childhood trauma does not recognize socioeconomic status or barriers, does it? We can be poor as church mice, eking out a living, or we can own an island in the Bahamas, numerous penthouses and apartments and homes, a warehouse full of cars and motorcycles. But it still impacts us the same. And many people still, no matter socioeconomic status or level of celebrity or non-celebrity, the booze and the dope are still used as either an escape mechanism to get away or to get to. So if you do have any interest in the Depp Heard trial, I'm going to watch it this week during our time off from Lip Lock No More. Hi, Ruby Pearl. But I'm watching it from an angle that I did not realize I would be watching it. It actually, hi Harley, has a parallel to what we do. We're seeing played out in public the impact, perhaps, pretty much looks that way to me, of childhood trauma. By the way, I think I figured out why we couldn't hear our theme song the other day, which I'm not going to try to play till the end in case we crash. That way we're crashing at the end and not before I tell you a little bit about Abigail McCOOL. When you screen share, and why they make it so tiny, but when the options come up, way down in the left-hand corner, there's a itty-bitty, teeny-weeny square that says share audio. And I didn't click it. I remembered it like hours later when I was going through in my mind, because I was like, well, you know, Trixie said, Mom, maybe unplug your headphones and try it that way. And I didn't try it that way because I didn't want to risk crashing. But in my head, I'm like, well, it worked when I had the headphones on before. Well, that's because Sleuth Mom was here to remind me to click that little audio share. So let me tell you about my conversation with, have I missed anybody? Hi, Kim. I don't like to miss anybody. Y'all know I feel bad when I go back and do a rewatch and I see your name in that live chat replay after, hi, Chief B. after it populates and I've missed you, it makes me feel bad. It really does. Okay. On Friday, and thank you, Carrie, for welcoming our viewers. Hi, Owen Flo. On Friday, I called, after our live, I called the Cabot, Arkansas Municipal Police Department, and the receptionist connected me, or tried to connect me with Sergeant Riley, who is the public information officer there. And I guess he was out to lunch or otherwise busy, and I got his voicemail. So I left voicemail explaining who I am, who we are, what we do. Good morning, Diantha. And hi, Rhonda. And why I was calling. And that was around, hang on, and I can tell you what time it was. Give me a second here. Let me look at my call logs. Let's see. Now, I'm not going to turn the phone around and show you as a receipt because there are other names and numbers in this call log that would be doxing. So I'm going to ask you to believe me when I tell you that on Friday, Friday past, today being Monday, April 25th, I called the Cabot Police Department at 12:58 p.m. So Sergeant Riley was most likely out to lunch, and looks like the phone call lasted about 5 minutes or so on the voicemail. Then this morning at 7:54 a.m., I called again, and the phone number is scrolling across the bottom of your screen, by the way. And this time, the receptionist connected me with Detective Fowler, who is in charge of Abigail McCOOL's case. Okay, now let me get out of my call logs and back to us. Because this is my second screen for when I do a screen share. Okay. All righty. So the questions I had for Detective Fowler, he was able to answer, and he gave me permission to share with my viewers. And it's about this much. It wouldn't fill a teacup. Okay. There will be no updates on Abigail McCOOL missing from Cabot, Arkansas. She walked away from her home on April the 15th. She's 17 years old. She has scars on her forearms, which may or may not be indicative of reactive, I have to double check my note, reactive attachment disorder. There will be no updates on the Cabot Police Department Facebook page in her regard, or to mainstream media, or to me, although he said, yes, you can call me anytime, until she's found. Because Um, because Detective Fowler does not want anyone to know who he is speaking, who he speaks with, or where he looks. That's as good as I can do. I'm sorry. Okay. Here are the questions I asked, though, that he was able to answer and gave me permission to share with you. Abigail left home basically with nothing but the shirt on her back and the tie-dyed shorts she was wearing. She had no backpack, no cell phone, no ID, and no money. Hi, Shay. He was very professional, had a kind tone. I don't really know how to describe it. I'm trying not to cry. This may sound funny, but I'm kind of weird. He sounded like the kind of guy that if I had someone missing or if I was missing, he sounded like the kind of guy that I'd want working on the case. And here again, hi, Louise. Louise, is this better? I added a lamp. Added a lamp. If y'all want to know what that's about, Louise has been a viewer, I guess, like for ever since I've been on, pretty much. And Louise is the one that got worried about my health and got me to chill out a little bit. And Louise left a comment the other day saying, I wish, I'm paraphrasing, but it was like, I can't see your face anymore in that setting. Couldn't you maybe add a side light? So but Louise, see, this is why I was doing it, because of all these wrinkles. I thought if I sat kind of in the shadows, that they wouldn't show so much. Yeah, Kim, I do wish that we had more like that. Crystal, aren't they? The roses. A secret. They aren't real. They are silk. Y'all know that my best friend Gracie died suddenly from a brain aneurysm the Saturday between Good Friday and Easter Sunday. And she lived 2 doors down. And there's a young man 1 door down in his early 30s. And he lives with his dad. And the reason he lives with his dad is because when he was a baby, he had what when I was young was called brain fever. I can't think of the real name of it right now. Well, I can't think of the real name, the medical term, but we called it brain fever. And it resulted in this young man having some developmental issues. And Crystal, last week, Timmy brought 2 dozen pink silk roses over to me. And he said, Miss Susan, do you still miss Gracie? And I said, I sure do, honey. And he said, well, I got these and I thought maybe they would make you feel better. And they do. So those are roses for Gracie from Timmy. Hi, New Orleans lady. Arctic Fox. All you see are wisdom lines. You know what I did? What though? I found this out, Arctic. I'm looking at myself and study out for a second. If you look at the shape of them, look where they go. They're from smiling. I reckon I've done a lot of smiling in my life. Okay. Carrie, we're going to talk, Tammy, honey, we're going to talk about RAD right now. Reactive attachment disorder. Here again, I did put, hi, is Shay in here? Let's see. How do I take, well, we'll just leave that up because I like the way Arctic said it. What I'm going to do is try to screen share with you what I have found. Here again, we're skimming across the surface of RAD, reactive attachment disorder. The reason we're going to look at this is because one of our viewers, Elizabeth Lander, has been in the, I don't want to say she's a social worker, although I believe she is, but she has been in that field since 1985. And she contributed on Friday to our live chat the possibility. Now, this is speculation only. But Elizabeth contributed that perhaps there's a chance that Abigail McCOOL is dealing with, I hesitate to use the word suffering from, because I don't really know the proper terminology. Let me get a sip of coffee. That was a present from one of my mods. So I'm going to attempt to screen share what I have found so far, skimming over the surface, to see if we can learn a little bit about reactive attachment disorder. And this is because the reason we're looking at this is there is a chance, and I'm waiting to see, it takes a few moments. Okay, now on my second screen, I can see the article. Can you? Is Frankie broke? Frankie, don't be coming up in here looking for no solicitor. Frankie's broke. I'm almost broke, but day after tomorrow, or actually tomorrow at midnight, is Social Security. Okay, now let's get serious for just a minute. Well, I'm going to get serious. You kids do what you want to. All right, what we are looking at here, okay, you guys can see it. We are looking at, it's called link.springer.com. Every time I do a live, I start getting spam risk phone calls. Isn't that weird? And the article is entitled Reactive Attachment Disorder, a Theoretical Model Beyond Attachment. The authors are Helen Minnis, Helen Marwick, Julie Arthur and Alexis McLaughlin of the European Child and Adolescent Psychiatry. So let's see. Let me scroll up a little bit here. And see what this says. Okay, abstract. I see how it's going to highlight for us. Oh, good. It's going to highlight in blue. Sometimes my stuff highlights like in black or gray, and I don't know why, and I don't like it. Okay, let me read. Despite its importance in public health, reactive attachment disorder, RAD, is an under-researched and little-used clinical category. Abnormalities of social relatedness have long been documented in children who have been abused, neglected, or institutionalized. Now, we don't know if Abigail McCOOL is or was in the system here in Arkansas. I'm sure law enforcement knows. I did not ask that question. I will ask Detective Fowler if he can answer that the next time we speak. As a matter of fact, let me make a note so I won't forget. Post-its. Okay. However, we do know, or at least we have been informed, yet I have not been able to confirm with receipts of any sort, but we do have information that Abigail was she was living with adoptive parents in Cabot, Arkansas. She has run away before, and the adoptive parents were going to court in June in order to gain full legal custody of Abigail. So we can surmise and speculate that because Abigail's being adopted by a family in Cabot, that she is or has been in the system, or perhaps, mere speculation, has been abused, neglected, or institutionalized. Okay, let's go on. But there have been more recent efforts to define these behaviors within the psychiatric nosology. I'm not sure I pronounced that correctly. There has been an implicit assumption that the central deficit in RAD is in the attachment system, but this has caused controversy and may have blocked research. We propose that, we being the authors, we propose that RAD is better construed within the framework of intersubjectivity, which has a central role in the development of core, brain, and social functions, and may also have had an important role in the evolution of a key human characteristic, complex social functioning. This broader framework may potentially explain apparently diverse symptoms such as indiscriminate friendliness and negative or unpredictable reunion responses. I told you we're skimming across the surface today. I want to dive into this deeper. I'm honestly leaning towards doing a live every day on this to help us learn about something I know absolutely nothing about. I'm hoping that my core audience will be interested enough to examine and explore this avenue with me and apply it where it is applicable. Sorry to be redundant, but in the cases that we discuss. Okay. Finally, we suggest that a change of name may be useful in progressing in the field, but accept that this may be difficult until there is better agreement in the clinical and scientific communities about the core features and etiology of this disorder. Now, I'm going to try to, I hope I don't lose you. I'm going to go back and look at what we know about the disorder and implications for treatment from SAGE journals. Okay. All right. Now, this is just a paragraph because, as I said, we're just, and this is deep stuff because these are articles written by people way, way, way above my pay grade. Way. Okay. But let's look and see what this says to us. Here again, let me go back down. This is from SAGE journals, sagepub.com, in regards to reactive attachment disorder, child maltreatment. Reactive attachment disorder, what we know about the disorder and implications for treatment. This is written by Rochelle F. Hansen and Eve G. Spratt. It was first published on May the 1st of 2000. I'm not seeing an update date, but if you go to the site, and all I did was I put in my Google search bar, reactive attachment disorder, and this was the very first thing that came up. I'm still trying to figure out how to drop links to a site like this into my description so that y'all can actually go look at it yourselves on your own time. But so all right. In recent years, there has been an increase in the number of children diagnosed with reactive attachment disorder, RAD. There is considerable disagreement about what this entity actually entails, and in particular, what types of assessments and interventions to use with these children and families. Children with a history of maltreatment, i.e., I'm sure you know, but just in case you don't, when you see the letters I period, E period in lowercase, that means such as, okay? It's It's an abbreviation for a Latin term that means more or less such as. Okay. Children with a history of maltreatment, such as physical, sexual, emotional abuse, and or severe neglect, close parentheses, are particularly likely to receive this diagnosis because the behavior problems often seen in these children are presumed to stem from the maladaptive relationships they have had with abusive caregivers. However, many children are receiving this diagnosis because of behavior problems that clearly extend beyond the DSM-IV criteria for RAD. Now, DSM, I should be able to tell you what DSM is, and it's a diagnostic system. We'll have to look at what DSM-IV is, because I don't like to mislead, and it's not coming to me off the top of my head. But it has to do with diagnostics. Okay. Perhaps the most concerning consequence of the RAD diagnosis is the emergence of novel treatments that lack a sound theoretical basis or empirical support, and may potentially be traumatizing and dangerous to the child. Thus, the purpose of this article is to review and synthesize what is known about RAD and attachment disorders and to discuss implications for treatment. Now, because it is heavy material, because it is a deep subject, that's all I'm going to look at today. You can see just by scratching the surface, this is a complicated issue. And is it possible that because Abigail has run away in the past, when she ran away, she was found in Fort Smith, Arkansas, clear on the other side of the state, western Arkansas, with family members. And the scars on her forearms. She could be, trigger warning, she could also be a self-harmer. When Shay, what are you saying, baby? Let me think about something else for a minute. Shorty Small, Shay saying to Shorty Small, that's so sad. My dad basically done that to my child because of lifestyle. He sees him and won't speak and just ignores him. It really hurts us. Shay. I'm sorry, Shay. Izzy Rose, my husband's never had any children, and he treated my children like his own, and their fathers don't care at all. Yep. Same here. My Bob treats my boys, and I treat, our youngest boy is his boy, and our two oldest boys are my boys. What we have are 3 sons. and a family full of grandkids and great grandkids who are cousins, you know. But if she's, I just wish there was so much more. I wish we could say more. I believe, mere speculation, that there is a chance that Abigail is a self-harmer, and that there are some really serious issues going on here, perhaps based on what we have looked at here about RAD. Is there potential for Abigail to have been affected by RAD that renders her in a headspace that makes it difficult for her to form and maintain meaningful attachments? And another thing that I read in skimming across the surface was that perhaps when the young one, and even as an adult later on, I'm speaking out of the, I'm speaking without knowledge really about what I'm speaking on, except for what I've looked at. It looks like that it leads to that if there's an opportunity, a good one, a solid one, for, let's say, an adoptive family, a good family that would love, nurture, provide the proper environment for a young person to thrive and grow, that the one with RAD would sabotage that without maybe even realizing they're sabotaging it. I don't know. And I wish there was more we could say about Abigail McCOOL. Other than she's 5'3", she weighs about 140 pounds. She was last seen, Detective Fowler did say she was seen by a family member. How familiar does that sound, what I'm about to say? She was seen walking away from her home by a family member. And I wouldn't tell you that except he gave me permission to say that. Hi, Dazed. Hi, Maria. Hi, Amanda. He chose not to tell me which direction she was seen walking. So I can't tell you if she was headed towards the interstate or if she was headed towards US Highway 167. I can't tell you. And I wish we had some way of knowing which way the baby was headed. But I trust Detective Fowler. And I'm going to continue to trust him that he knows what he's doing and how to handle this case. So, that's about all I can tell you about her. She's got brown hair. Well, hang on. Y'all, I still haven't figured out how to get pictures out of my email into my PC. I mean, I think I know how to get them into the cloud, like into Photos, into Google Photos, but then I don't know how to get them here onto Lip Lock No More. But I do want to show you Angel from Angel Talks Too Fast. When I did my first piece, I think it was Friday evening that I did a piece on Abigail. Angel was able to quickly find 3 photographs and email them to me. Let's see. That's better. That's better, isn't it? Okay. Okay, there's one. All right, now we want to remember, we're talking about Arkansas. We're talking about Cabot, Arkansas, which is west and slightly north of Little Rock, North Little Rock, just off of US Highway 167. The last time Abigail ran away in August of 2020, she was 15 years old. She was found in Fort Smith, Arkansas. Okay. Now on that one, we see that she does have a nose piercing. It looks like a loop on the outside. I don't see one in the septum, although there could be one there. And we've got one more. See if I can make it any bigger. Okay. Those are the only 3 photographs, as far as I know, that are available of Abigail McCOOL. And anyone who was not here and is not familiar with the case, I would want to point out that the 2 B's in Abigail is not a typo. That is how Abigail is spelled. ABB. Okay. Get back to my second screen here and look at what you darlings are saying for a few moments. Hi, Blue Ice Webster. So, let's see. So, here we go. Oh, what are you darlings saying? Don't worry about checking. I just blocked them. That's a troll. I see that username on just about anything that has to do with missing children, you know, where you're making a plea in an attempt to help the missing or to help the families of the missing or to help law enforcement in this case, you know, like working with not working with Detective Fowler, but him being fully aware of who I am and what I'm about. Hi, Dahlia. That person is just an ugly person, you know, just a nasty person. So that goes to channels like ours and makes nasty remarks. So just, they're blocked now. Don't worry about it. So, yeah, basically. Checking convictions, yes, basically. So, Darlings, hi Sharon, honey. If I missed you, y'all know how I am when I start. Darlings, that's all I have on Abigail. Brown hair, green eyes, walked away from our home in Cabot, Arkansas with tie-dyed shorts and t-shirt. Now, darlings, let me tell you right now in Arkansas, and if you weren't here when I talked about Abigail before, um, those shorts and little t-shirt, we don't know okay. Today, it started, we got thunderstorms here. I'm about 40 minutes drive time, maybe a little bit more from Cabot. I'm north of Cabot, but basically in my backyard. So the weather's pretty much the same. Since April the 15th, it's been raining. Last night the temperature dropped somewhat. It's a little bit cool this morning, and I really don't like the thought of anybody, but I sure don't like the thought of a young person with nothing. No change of clothes, no way to get a hold of anybody, no money to buy food or water. Where is she sleeping at night? Is she alive? Did she go north? Did she go south? Did she go east? Did she go west? Is she hiding with a friend? Did she hitchhike? So here is what Detective Fowler said. He said, I can call him anytime, but there will be no updates or any further information that he can share with me regarding Abigail McCOOL until she is found. So I would ask my viewers who pray to pray for Abigail McCOOL, 17 years old, missing from Cabot, Arkansas since April the 15th of 2022, that she will be found safe, and that in the meantime, she will not harm herself. If you are not a praying person, but like me, you prefer to put positive vibes out into the universe on behalf of others, please do. Let's send our good vibrations out for Abigail McCOOL. And let's pray for Detective Fowler and the Cabot, Arkansas Police Department, but most specifically Detective Fowler in charge of her case, that the powers that be will give him the wisdom, the strength, the endurance, and the wherewithal to work her case efficiently and effectively, and to find her sooner rather than later. And I will continue to bring you what little bit we can get on her, and hopefully any updates will be good. Remember, she's 5'3" and weighs 140 pounds. Hi, Florida boy. Thank you, Dahlia, for sending warm and healing energy. Darlings, on my PC, I'm seeing praying hands. Yeah. So, Abigail McCOOL, I know you won't see this, but Abigail McCOOL, there's a little handful of people over here, and this is what they're thinking for you right now. And child, Blue Eyes Webster is sending up prayers for all the missing persons, including Michael Monkey Vaughn, Summer Moon Utah Wells, Angel Nicole Overstreet, Daniel Robinson, Brandon Blansett, our Jane East Point 2022 doe has been identified. Her name is not being released to the public at the request of the family, but Jane East Point 2022 doe has been identified and has her name back. So thank you to anyone and everyone. And don't forget little Nikki Rule. Sorry. Okay. Rhonda Bennett is sending love. Checking convictions. Hopes she will be found safely. Tammy Crimes is praying. Kim is praying. Yes, Carrie does. She does beautiful, beautiful work, doesn't she? The list is so long, Checking Convictions is saying. I broke down last. Checking Convictions is saying to us, the list is so long, I broke down last night during my thoughts and prayers before bed for all the murdered and missing. Darlings, it's just so heavy. But we're not going to give up. We're going to continue to do the best we can do under any and all circumstances, even if we got to take the weekends off to keep our even if we've got to take a couple of days off. We're going to keep at it, and we're going to keep bringing these names forward and talk about them until they're found. I'll point out to you again, Summer Moon Utah Wells is always in my room. The who, potential who's, what's, where's, when's, why's, with a blank page for how, which we may never know. But Summer Moon Utah Wells is never forgotten in this household or on this channel ever. Even though she may not be in the title, she won't be in the hashtags because I don't do clickbait. What are you saying, Blue Eyes? Also, Brittany Woods from Daphne, Alabama. Blue Eyes, I have not heard of Brittany Woods. And because I not only took the weekend off, darlings, from our channel, I took the weekend off from missing persons. I needed to just do something else. So I will spend the rest of today trying to catch up with what's going on in the realm that we walk through. Don't like it very much, but these people need a voice. They need more than a voice. They need our voices, and our voices are strong. We're powerful. We're warriors. Shay Safe Place is a warrior. Carrie Bishop doesn't have a channel, but she's a warrior. Maria is a warrior. Rhonda is a warrior. Blue Eyes Webster is a warrior. Checking Convictions is a warrior. These are warriors' names you see coming up on that screen. And I'm a warrior. So we'll continue to stand up for, speak out for. There are others who aren't joined with us here this morning, I'm sure, because they're dazed. Used to be, I started to call you dazed and confused. Used to be dazed and confused. Now she's just dazed. No, she shortened her name. Just we're warriors, and we're going to continue to speak out for those who cannot speak out for themselves or won't. Look here what Tammy's saying. 7 years Tammy has been sharing the missing. The YouTube crime community has really helped and brought a brighter light to this darkness. Thank you all so much. You're welcome, Tammy. Tammy, thank you for 7 years of doing something that I've only been doing since August of 2021. Yes, checking convictions. Together, we can build a better and stronger voices against the injustice we see. United we stand, divided we fall. Y'all know Angel Nicole Overstreet is the one that's really got me right now, along with our Summer. I mean, they've all got me. But Angel Nicole is the one that I sit and just stare and stare and stare at that map, wishing for the baby to materialize from out of nowhere. And Detective Levi Livingston, down there at the Huntington, West Virginia. He hasn't returned my calls. I may call him one more time and go with the third time thing. My mama used to say, you know, third time's a charm. Well, it can also maybe be your clue that, lady, I'm not going to talk to you. And others that have been really close to the case for a heck of a lot longer and know a lot more about it than I do tell me the same thing. The detectives working Little Angel's case, they just, but all right, babies. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about this morning? We've been on for a little over an hour. I do have a poem, one of my brother's poems, that happens to be one of his poems that I set to a tune. So you're going to get a poem and a tune, 2 birds, 1 stone. Are you running back and forth, baby, still? What?
That's your prop.
Yeah. I'm live on YouTube, so okay. I don't know what to do when I'm doing a live broadcast. And my husband, when he let me know last week that he was going to be on vacation this week from the lumberyard, I said to him, what am I going to do with you for a whole week? And he said he was going on a side job. And now it's raining, and he's standing right there in the doorway looking at me, talking about him.
I'm leaving.
Okay, let me kiss him. I'll be right. I'm going to mute for 1 moment, darlings. Thank you for being patient. I had to boss him around. Have y'all ever been, any of you that are, hi Janet, that are married or have been married or had a paramour, like a cohabitated? Do you ever have them on vacation and you're like, go do something? Honey, Donna Odom says, hi, Mr. Bob. So anyway, where, Kim, you have to go. Honey, that's all right. Kim says, I'm sorry, everybody. I got to get off here and get ready for my son's Head Start teacher. I'll see you all on the next one. Prayers for all the missing, and may Abigail be found soon. Well, I guess Kim's got a little one that's going to Head Start. Cool. Carrie, what's a funny fact? Look like no more funny fact. My dad's name is Bob, and his, get out, honey. Carrie Bishop's dad's name is Bob, and his birthday is April 20th. 420. Shannon says we could go on a honeymoon this week. Shay.
I hear you.
I said Donna Odom says, hi, Mr. Bob. Okay. Go. Now I know how Chasing feels when her Scott is home. And she's like, get out of here. If any of y'all watch. If any of y'all watch. Surely you do. At least some of you watch Chasing. Used to be Chasing Truth. And for a little while, well, it wasn't funny. Scott was sick. But, he was home and kind of like under it. So anyway. So, all right. Now I will try at the end to, after our, well, let me look at your chat. Boing, 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 boing. Maria is saying, go do something. Excuse me. I'm getting to where I'm wanting a cigarette. And okay, what is another fun fact from Shay's Safe Place? Shay's first boyfriend was named Bobby, and he lived all the way at the opposite end of the holler. So Shay, are you saying you had a holler Bobby? Shay's got a holler Bobby. Tammy, when your children grow up, then your grandchildren grow up, where did the time go? Now I have a beautiful great-granddaughter. Tammy, I know what you mean. 4 of the granddaughters are talking about getting it together to come down for Memorial Weekend. I only get to see that little group. They're 4 daughters from my oldest son. First 4 grandkids I ever had. And the oldest one is the mother of 3 of my great-grandchildren. The second oldest is the mother of my other great-grandchild. Got 4 great-grandkids. And I sure do hope they can come. When they were young, like Tammy's pointing out here, their mama and daddy would come and all the kids come with them. And then the grandkids grow up and go their own way and move to St. Louis and move to Fort Sill and move to Springfield and move over here, move out yonder, and start having their own babies, and then their babies start school, and then they've got their own schedules, and it's just how it is. So I'm hoping that they do come for Memorial Weekend. That would be so great, and we have such a good time while they're here, and they bring their significant others usually, and we make what down here in Arkansas what you call a Baptist pallet. And you don't have to be a Baptist to have one or a bunch of them. Baptist pallet, it's where you grab a quilt and a pillar, otherwise known as a pillow. Grab a blanket or a quilt, actually. You grab a quilt and a pillar and you throw it on the floor and you lay down and go to sleep. And that's called a Baptist pallet. And then you wake up of a morning to the smell of coffee brewing and bacon frying. At least in this house you do. Well, Brianna, oh, honey, here you are, Brianna. Hi, Jelly Bean. We're just talking right now, honey. You can talk out loud. They love you. Come over here where they can see you.
I want to look at me.
I want them to see. Come here. Bend down. There he is with his holy shirt. Look. Yeah.
Jesus, fingers out of my heart.
Go away. Are you going to a case?
Yes.
Fine. I love you. Goodbye. Be careful. And wipe your feet when you come back. That's my man. Can't live with him, can't live without him. Wouldn't even want to try. Tell you what, y'all, when he had that damn stroke last May, it's new, you know, it's what? Oh, he's got a doctor's appointment at 1:45. I'll call him and remind him. He's got a doctor's appointment today. His checkup. Brianna, honey, we've talked about Abigail. I did talk to Detective Fowler this morning. Y'all, I'm rehashing. Brianna, I'll look and see, honey. Okay, you have spoken with Abigail's sister. Okay. Brianna, I'm going to be really careful. I'm going to check emails after this live. Brianna, did I just call you Abigail? I meant Brianna. I'm sorry. Because I think I just heard my husband come back in the door. And if I did, I'm going to whack him with this. Anyway, I'll check emails when the live is over. And because, honey, Detective Fowler is there's certain things he doesn't want discussed publicly. So I'll want to look at them and not share them with our viewers. But I think you see where I'm coming from. Thank you for everything you're doing to help me and our viewers learn more about Abigail. So, yeah, you got to love him, Maria. Just highlighting, I want to highlight a few of your comments. Did I sound like you? Tammy says I sound like her. Brianna's laughing her patootie off. He does seem like a good man. He sounds like a good man. I've only talked to him once, Brianna. I called him this morning. He was very, you have air mattresses. We have air mattresses too, Izzy Rose. But one of them is one of those where when you wake up in the morning, you might as well have not had one. Yeah, see, so Brianna understands. She's saying, you know, thank you so much, Mommy. So, okay, down to the bottom there. I got that tickle in my throat. So, I'm wanting a cigarette. I'll do some more research to see what else we can learn about reactive attachment disorder. If any of you guys want to check it out on your own, I do always encourage, please, my viewers, don't take my word on anything. Not that I would lie to you or mislead you, but double check me. And if you go look up things like this on your own, if you've got a little time and you're interested, then it helps in chat, and you can contribute more about what may or may not be going on. So, Hizzy says, take your shoes off at the door. Honey, for the first 17 years, my husband never walked into our house with his boots or shoes on. We had a boot room, a mud room at our other house where you could go in and be cool or warm. It was air conditioned or heated and had the boot rack and scrapers and all of that business. And when we moved over here, we have a boot room, but it's the back door. And but he's mine, and I love him. He's good to me. As a matter of fact, Bob's good to everybody. Bob's one of those guys, he'd give you the shirt off of his back and you don't even have to ask for it. But anyway, we do have, Shay, we are going to, honey, we're going to be looking more at RAD. Obviously, the professionals are even like putting things in a balance on a scale. Like, what do we know? What don't we know? Where can we go with this? It's always good to see you, Donna Odom. I'm so grateful you were here. Thank you, darling. So, yeah, he's all mine 100. Okay, let's do one of my brother's poems. Copyright 1982, Roy D. Cunningham. Current copyright holder, Susan Brewer. This one's called Dancing. And I've done this one before on some silly live or upload that I did from the kitchen a long time ago. Seems like forever ago. And it was one of those that, because my brother was also a musician, I just had this feeling because of the rhythm of how it read that he actually intended it to be lyrics to a song. So I put it to a tune. So hence, you're getting a poem and a song, 2 birds, 1 stone. Dancing. When I'm walking close to you, I'm not worried about the blues. I get that rhythm in my shoes. I just want to dance. Then I go walking down the street, tapping to a ragtime beat. Got that rhythm in my feet, and I just want to dance. Won't you come dancing with me? Can't you feel the music that is in me, baby? Whoa, won't you come dance with me? Can't you feel the rhythm in my feet and the music, baby, that's in me? Oh, you kiss me, I get high, and all those people passing by look at me and say, my oh my, and I just want to dance. Boom. So there we go. Now I'm going to try to say goodbye to you with our theme song. And when it's over, I'm going to click end broadcast. We'll see if it works. I hope it does, because this is our theme song. No kitty. No kitty. No kitty. Okay. I want to share screen. And I'm telling you that I love you all. Share screen. Share system audio, that little bitty box down in the corner. And Chrome tab. NFX winning. Here we go. I hope it works. If we crash, we crash. I love you all. Okay, now wait. I can't hear it. Oh, it's loading. It's not loading. Can you guys still hear me jacking my jaws? No kitty. Why isn't it loading? Mwah. Now I'm mad. Forget about it. You can hear me and it didn't come up. I mean, it wasn't loading. It just buffered and buffered and buffered. Now I'm really mad. Hang on a minute. I know, dang it, where the wind blows. It just kept buffering and buffering. So, I'm going to read the lyrics without the music. And then I'm going to say goodbye and go pout. Okay. Winning by NFX. And no, I can't do it like they do it. But it's the lyrics that are important because they apply to me, to this channel, and to every single one of you. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they want to go eat, then you know I'm going to feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head. I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'm going to take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I can take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood. My tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I can tear you apart or I can go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind. No kneeling. Got a lust for change, and I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times, because anything worth doing is a tough climb. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times, because anything worth doing is a tough climb. Because I'm a live for the fight. Yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I don't lie at night. I be in my feelings. I'm a be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live for the fight. Yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I don't lie at night. I be in my feelings. I'm a be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they want to go eat, then you know I'm going to feed them. If you're coming for me, I hope you're ready for a demon. All right, babies. I would tell you to behave yourselves, but why would I waste my breath and your time when we all know you ain't going to do it? So, have fun, but be safe. And don't ever forget that I love every single one of you, no matter what. And I'll see you on the flip-flop, whether you like it or not. End broadcast. End broadcast.